In this video, we're going to download and install IntelliJ IDEA, which is the editor or IDE, integrated development environment we're going to be using to create programs in this course. So what we need to do is start out by going to jetbrains.com. And JetBrains is the creator of the IntelliJ IDEA product. So I'll go to their website. I'm going to come down to the Tools menu, hover over that, move on down to IntelliJ IDEA. I'm going to click over here to Yes, I agree, just to remove that little pop-up. I'm going to select Download. Now when we do that, there's two options here. We've got the Ultimate Edition, noting that it's also available for Mac OS and Linux as well. So we've got the Ultimate Edition and the Community Edition. So we can use the Community Edition in this course, and that's completely free and open source. There's no cost, and there's never going to be a cost to use it. It's completely free. The Ultimate Edition, out of interest, is available if you're looking at some extra tools. That's more for professional developers, things like Java Enterprise Edition and Spring and so on and so forth. But we're going to be using the Community Edition, so I'm going to click on over here to download it. Then I'm going to select Run, noting that you may have to save this to a folder somewhere and double click it once it's downloaded if your browser doesn't allow you to do what I've just done. So I'll give that a moment to complete now. We'll just fast forward this a bit. Alright, you can see we're just about done now. Okay, when this pop-up comes up, I'm going to click on Yes, that we're going to allow this app to make changes. I'm going to close down the browser at this point because we've finished with that. We're going to go through the installation setup. I'm going to click on Next. I'm going to click on Next again. Alright, so in this little pop-up, you need to specify whether you're a 32-bit or a 64-bit user. Now, 9 times out of 10, you will select a 64-bit, but if you know that your operating system is 32-bit, then that would be the box you'll check. You can optionally update the context menu to add an option to open folder as project. I don't actually use that, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. And I'm going to create these associations, the .java, the .groovy and .kt, which is for Kotlin, because that's useful if you want to edit those particular files in this IntelliJ IDEA product as well. So generally I would suggest you just click those options anyway, even if you don't think you're going to use them at the moment. Click on Next, Install. And this is now installing IntelliJ IDEA. Once this is completed, there's a few little minor installation configurations we need to set before we end the video. Alright, just about finished as we can see now. Alright, the next thing I suggest you do is check the Run IntelliJ IDEA Community Edition because there's a few things we need to set up. Click on Finish. Eventually this little pop-up will come up. We've got the option to select a config or installation folder or do not import settings. Do not import settings. If this is the first time you've used IntelliJ IDEA, set that. The config or installation folder is there if you want to import settings from a previous installation. In our case, we're not going to do that, so I'm going to click on OK after selecting or making sure that do not import settings is selected. We're going to accept JetBrains privacy policy by clicking the checkbox and clicking on Continue. You've got the options to send JetBrains usage anonymous statistics. I'm going to click on Don't Send, but you're free to select those and choose to send those statistics if you wish. Next, we're prompted as to whether we want a dark background, which is generally easier on the eyes when you're programming, or a light background. Now I'm going to choose light because that tends to come out better in the videos, but if you want to choose the darker theme, the darker one, then do that. Noting that you can always go back into settings later and change this. So I'm going to click on Next. I'm going to leave this screen alone, noting that the screen will be different if you've chosen the Ultimate Edition of IntelliJ. We don't need to make any changes there. We can just leave everything as it is. Click on Next. Same deal there. I'm not going to change anything. You can always come back and install these things later if that's something that you want to do. We won't be using any of those in the course. And click on Start using IntelliJ IDEA. Alright, so at this point we're now done. We've now successfully installed IntelliJ IDEA. So now that we've done that, we do have a few minor configurations that we need to finish off. Specifically, what we need to do is configure it for the software development kit so that we can start creating programs in this course, but we're going to do that in a separate video. I'll end the video now and we'll see you in the next video where we start making a few other changes to configure IntelliJ IDEA. So I'll see you in that next video.